Yes, our next speaker is Amanda Taylor, and she's going to talk about redefining rich. She is
Mm.
on a mission to rewrite the rules of wealth for women by women. She is the founder of Expand Your Empire and Metropolis Business Development, where she empowers female entrepreneurs to build systems that don't just scale, but sustain. With deep expertise in financial literacy, automation, and investor readiness, Amanda helps women take full ownership of their business, their money, and their future. Her message is clear. It's time to stop playing small, real results, real wealth, real freedom. That's what she helps create, not just for today, but for the next generation. So let's welcome Amanda because she's going to teach us all how to be rich, right? Yay! Welcome, Amanda. Oh, and I forgot your favorite music. Hold on a second. LCD sound system. Listen to
Yep.
this one as well. You all should check it out. And the thing that you might not know about her is she can't do a somersault, but we won't hold that against her. Welcome, Amanda.
Thanks. No, I cannot do a somersault. I'm seriously terrified I'm going to break my neck, but that's okay. I do love Vancouver, so if you are adopting Americans, be ready for me. Thank you so much for having me. Natalie, you were a great lead-in for this. So imagine this. You walk into a bar, there's someone standing across the room, confident, magnetic, seemingly out of your league. They're holding a drink in one hand and your full potential in the other. You lock eyes for a moment, but instead of walking toward them, curious, bold, and open, you freeze. You look down and you straighten your shirt and you wonder, do I even belong in the same room as that? You watch other women walk up, smiling and self assured, and you think to yourself, well, she probably married into it. She must be ruthless. Oh, she is one of those high powered types. Mm, she's lucky. That's just not for women like me. And so you stay where you are, both wanting more and quietly judging it, longing to be close, but uncomfortable being seen with them. So you know it's coming. Here's the twist, that person you've been eyeing from across the room, it's money. And that bar, it's your life, it's your business, it's every opportunity you've ever turned away from because you weren't sure you deserved to take up space, to lead, or to earn. Let's just call it what it is. It's a complicated relationship, not with money itself, but with everything we've been taught to believe about it. So here's the truth. Our discomfort with money, especially as women, it's not personal, it's not a character flaw, it's conditioning. It's global, it's generational, and it is systemic. For most of recorded history, women have been locked out of the systems that create wealth. In the US, it wasn't until 1974 a woman could open a bank account or apply for credit without a male cosigner. In Switzerland, women weren't granted full federal voting rights until 1971, and in one region, not until 1991. In Saudi Arabia, women couldn't drive or travel without male permission until 2018. In India, women technically have inheritance rights, but cultural and legal barriers still make property ownership deeply unequal. In Kenya, only about 1% of land titles are held solely by women. And in Japan, fewer than 15% of leadership positions are held by women, despite equal education. And even in places where the laws have changed, the messages haven't. We were raised, many of us, to be grateful, but not ambitious, to help, but not to lead, to give and give and give, but don't ask for anything in return. We've been taught generosity is a virtue, but asking to be compensated feels greedy too much. So we shrink ourselves inside of service. We pour endlessly into others while leaving ourselves last on the list. We make a difference, but we tell ourselves we shouldn't make a profit. We offer things but fail to name our price. And somewhere along the way, we've internalized a dangerous idea that we must choose between being fulfilled and being funded. That if we care deeply, we shouldn't also earn abundantly. That our worth is measured by how little we need, not by how fully we thrive. And the numbers reflect that story. Women globally earn 20% less than men for the same work. Less than 3% of global venture capital goes to women-owned businesses. We retire with 2/3 of the wealth. We carry more student debt. We perform more than 75% of unpaid care work. Get this, valued at over 11 trillion dollars a year. While women make up nearly half of those living in extreme poverty, we face deeper, more complex barriers to escaping. Limited access to land, credit, safety, education, and time. And that's why gatherings like this one matter. Too often we're walking around thinking we're the only ones wrestling with this. We think our fear around charging more or investing in ourselves is just personal, when in reality it's been patterned into us. And these patterns don't just show up in bank accounts, they show up in our bodies, in our boundaries, in our dreams. So when you hesitate to raise your rates and you feel guilty for wanting more, when you admire wealthy women and judge them in the same breath, it's not personal, it's generational. We were not designed to thrive in the systems we inherited. But here's the good news. We don't have to ask permission to build new ones. We get to redefine what wealth looks like and reclaim the power that has always been ours. What if we stopped shrinking around money and started getting curious about it? What if being rich wasn't about excess, but about sovereignty? What if it meant being resourced, rested, respected, and rooted in your purpose, free to choose, give, build, and rest on your terms? Rich doesn't have to be about hoarding. It's about having enough to care for your family, your future, your dreams, and still have room to serve others from overflow, not depletion. And we can't redefine wealth until we confront the beliefs we've internalized. That wanting money is greedy, that building a business somehow makes us less nurturing, that money and meaning can't coexist. There is no shame in wanting money. Your desire for more is a form of divine intelligence. When women have wealth, we don't just elevate ourselves, we elevate entire ecosystems. We fund schools and shelters. We invest in sustainability, community, and healing. We raise families, we pay teams, and we create safety. We circulate our dollars in ways that build empires. And when women expand their empires, everyone rises with them. The old model, the patriarchal model, is built on power over, scarcity, grind, competition, and control. It's a system that tells you to hustle harder, to dominate, to succeed alone, and it rewards burnout disguised as ambition. But the feminine knows another way. She knows power is shared. Wealth is cyclical. Rest is productive, and intuition is strategy. And success doesn't require suffering. The feminine doesn't reject structure, she infuses it with soul. She builds in rhythm with her body, her vision, and her values. She leads through collaboration. She invests in regeneration, not just in return. So you don't have to abandon your purpose to be paid. You don't have to choose between service and security. And you don't have to break yourself to build something meaningful. You get to grow. You get to rest. You get to be fully resourced, fully expressed, and unapologetically abundant. So let's return to that moment. You walk into the bar, see money across the room, but this time you don't flinch, you don't freeze, you don't second guess your worth. You walk up, heart open, spine tall, say, I'm ready not just to receive you, but to lead with you. Because the world needs women who are funded. It needs women who are ready to build legacies, to lead movements, to model what it looks like to be well-resourced and wildly generous. And that is why spaces like this summit are so powerful. This is more than an event, it's a movement, this symphony. It's a global chorus of women, and those who walk beside us, raising their voices and their vision and their value. This is a space where we don't compete, we connect, we collaborate, and we celebrate, and we share our stories of success, but not just that, our struggle, our healing, our reinvention, and bold becoming. Because when one woman reclaims her wealth, her definition of rich, it sends a ripple across families, communities, and cultures. And when thousands of us do it together, we don't just change the narrative, we change the world. This is your permission to want more, to create more, to expand your empire, and to do it as the feminine can, with power and purpose and peace. So who's going to get rich with me? Let's do it.
Yay. Wow. Wow. Are we all sitting here feeling like, take a deep breath, like let's take a breath. Power, purpose, and peace. Power, purpose, and peace. And relating those to wealth.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done. That was incredible. Leslie, I was busy writing things like da 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 da. I've got like little circles, wealth and permission, and I was writing down the statistics. I'm a big statistics person, and I think just tapping into wanting more, like the permission around wanting more. And not having more feel like more work to do, right? But really having flow and, it really, the statistics blew me away.
Yeah.
And it's wealth is with its own, I think, as someone who's a kind of a movement person, wealth is its own kind of movement for women. Wealth is its own kind of movement.
It is, and it's what everybody has kind of talked about. I've heard a lot of people today talk about alignment and being true to your true self and finding your purpose and your soul. And that is the cyclical nature of, what I'm seeking is seeking me. I think, we heard that earlier. And that's where it comes in. When you are truly seeking your purpose and your vision, and you are doing it in a way that is serving other people, that is when the money flows, the abundance comes, the wealth, the prosperity, and the world then becomes a much better place.
So something that you said that I thought was really powerful, and maybe I'm alone in this, but I don't think so, is that many times we get okay with not being paid this or that because we're in service. That there's some kind of lineage and philosophy around if you are in service, right?
You're not supposed to make money.
Yeah. And just even as someone who runs movement, who does the thing, like the biggest joy doesn't always necessarily come from getting paid. It gets from being in service. And sometimes I think that can get convoluted for women, because it's not like you're not being rewarded. You're just not being rewarded in fiscal. And sometimes the ratio is off. And
Right,
it also,
exactly.
I think, can become very pattern embedded, where it's like you get a lot of joy, you get a lot, look at, I hang out with a lot of momagers and dadagers. You want to talk about that joy piece, right? It's like, yeah, but it's joyful, it's joyful, it's joyful. And sometimes it negates some of the cost or the fatigue or the whatever. And I think that by nature, from what you were sharing, that women, that's a gig. That's a gig, right? Not to say not to be in service, and not to say that we always, need to get
You can do
paid
both.
for it. But when you said shrink into service, that kind of set that I thought, I think that's something to be said, or something to be explored, that you can feel good about the service that you do, but also raise your prices. You can feel good about the service that you do, but also, charge, or what's your ratio? Like, how much can you give? And anyways, I'm babbling and I'm going into detail, which I normally
It's
don't
what I
do,
tell
but
my clients. You're not charging for your time, you're charging for the results and the transformation that you get, and you need to own that.
Mhm. Mhm. Wow. Leslie, my beautiful co-host, got us today.
Yay. Yeah.
Yay!
I think, and this kind of, well, this obviously ties in, but when you were talking, it struck me really, women have not had that power of money, right? At one point, they were all staying home. We were given money by men to use, right? Again, and there's some weirdness there, right? So yeah, it really is sort of unpacking some of that
It's
genetic crap.
generational trauma. We were
Exactly.
property,
Right?
it's just,
Basically,
it's
yeah, we
still
were
there.
property. And now we're having to go, okay, wait a minute, wait a minute. And so, yeah, there is, boy, talk about money. I mean, there's a whole mindset.
Yeah,
Like we could get into some crazy, right? They
yeah.
dig you around in people's and they would be like, what? What? Why
It's
is that
more than
thing?
just the currency. There's so much emotion tied to it. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it was great, and great that you brought so much of that up. So for everybody, you are going to get access to a 7-day financial confidence worksheet. And after you just heard Amanda, we're all wanting that, right? To be more confident financially. And for one lucky person, they're going to get a lifetime membership in Expand Your Empire community. And how much is that worth, Amanda?
Let's say $550.
Perfect.
If you
There
stick
you
with
go.
me, it's way more than that. But
Right?
yeah,
You undervalued it, but that's
I
okay.
under.
It's worth so much more. It's hard, right? It's hard to
Yeah,
put a price. And isn't that
Exactly.
one of the things?
on
It's
a
hard
monthly
to put the
membership. Yeah.
price on I mean, I'm sure I'm looking at a room full of coaches, trainers, mentors. You've told somebody something and they've walked out the door and ching, 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 right? So our knowledge and our expertise is so highly prized. It literally can change. So sometimes I think it's hard to put a price on information.
Absolutely. And you think about like you're getting a lifetime with Amanda. Think about that. You get to pick your brain all
I'm
the
gonna get a lifetime because she's coming to Vancouver.
time. That's right.
I'm
Yeah.
moving in with
She's
you
moving
then.
next door.
So you all know the deal here. Get ready, put your emails in, and I'm gonna ask you an easy one because we're all like, right?
Because they've been here all day with us.
Well, that too. And then our brains just absorbed all the money stuff. And so, like mine, I always tell everybody, it needs a little bit of time to mull stuff out and sort and file and stuff. So
Mhm.
we're keeping it easy. So she started her talk in a place and she ended her talk in the same place. What is that place?
You're talking location?
Location. Yep. So
All
email.
right.
And what is the location that she started and ended in?
Right on. Right
A
on.
lifetime of Amanda access.
I love it. I love it. I love how we have fun on here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So great. So great. So look, I know that let's do a round of applause, like some hearts and
Yeah.
emojis and reactions. I know